The reports are representatives of state governments at the last Federation Accounts Allocation Committee meeting have bemoaned the decision by the federal government to save additional revenue for the payment of the new minimum wage. This development, which affected their revenue distribution from the Federation Committee, was received with opposing views when an update on statutory allocation showed that the government transferred a sum of 200 billion naira into the non-savings account at the August FAC meeting, making a total sum of 595 billion naira. The Commissioners of Finance, Akwa Ibom, Dr. Linus Noah, Delta, Okemo, Tilije and Ekiti Akintunde Oyebode raised the observation at the last FAC meeting held in August 16, 2024, minutes of which our correspondents actually obtained. And at the meeting, it was learned the committee distributed a total sum of 1.36 trillion naira to the three tiers of government, 1 billion naira less than 1.3 trillion naira shared in June. This is despite recording an increase of 13 billion naira between the gross total of 2.6 trillion naira in July and 2.4 trillion naira in June. Now, in its opening address, the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, applauded the President for signing the National Minimum Wage Act into law, adding that its implementation will be of immense benefit. But then he further disclosed that the discussions were still ongoing on the consequential adjustments, and the minutes quoting the minister read that work on the new minimum wage is still in progress, adding that the government had continued to dialogue with organized labor and private sector. But let's go back to the very first paragraph of this story, which has actually told us a lot about what the story is talking about, where we have reports that representatives of state government at the last FAC meeting have bemoaned the decision of federal government to save additional revenue for the payment of the new minimum wage.
Well, I want to feel that the state governments are never having enough money, and the local government to run their states. Of course, I want to agree with them that they need resources to implement their budgets and the visions and the dreams they have for their people. But in any case, I expected that this is a federated nation, it's a federated country, where there should be a set of understanding between the federal government and the state government on matters that affect the entire Nigerians. But most times, when it's a matter that affects the entire Nigerians, state government will tend to oppose it. But when it has to a matter that has to benefit a particular state, the state will feel that federal government should be considerate on them. So I think there should be a harmonious understanding among the leaders, the states and the federal government to ensure that what is best for we Nigerians is being done.
But you know, it was stated that it affected their own revenue.
Of course. Now we are talking about...
They don't expect them not to oppose it.
No, I didn't say they shouldn't. I said in similar cases, when it is something that will affect the state will vehemently oppose. But if it has to do with federal government decision that every Nigerians from different sectors can enjoy, not directly from state government, they tend to oppose it. That's when the state will say, we are in charge of the entire citizens of our state, so we actually need more money. But if it is an event where the more money they are receiving is even getting to the citizens, and the citizens are having a better life, in fact, I would advocate that federal government even do not have a business with spending money, because every citizens fall under a state. But in most cases, even the billions that states are having, the impact is not even seen among her citizens. So I like to say that if the federal government savings is going to help the entire country, I want to appeal to state government to be patient and then understand with the federal government on this matter. Now, the sharp resistance, the instances is based on minimum wage, right? There are new policies government have taken that requires more money. Is that correct? So if the federal government, because state governments too have opposed the minimum wage, most governments say they cannot pay. And I wonder if you cannot give your worker minimum of 70,000 naira, with all the billions you are receiving every month. These are citizens of your state. And you are saying that 70,000 is too much for them to have. I wonder where our conscience, as leaders, have been dropped. So I'd like to say that the federal government, if they meant well on the issue of implementing the minimum wage of 70,000 naira, and that money that is going to be kept, Nigerians who are workers will actually benefit from that 70,000 naira, irrespective of the complaints of state. I would like to encourage that the federal government should keep that money, and then encourage that state government who are willing to pay that 70,000. It's a small money. I know that when you tabulate it, it's a big money, but there is no state that is not taking billions of naira. And there is no state that the workforce, they will tell us that salary of a workforce of a state is up to 5 billion naira.
Talking about billions of naira, let's take the story that refers to fuel subsidy now.